Do you know why it's called the Chili Bowl?
I don't. Do you?
Why is the chili? I couldn't tell you. Honestly, I have no idea how the Chili Bowl got its name.
I actually don't know why it's called the Chili Bowl. I've actually thought about that.
Am I supposed to know this?
I don't even know if they have chili here, to be honest, but I'm not sure why they call it the Chili Bowl, but it's suitable for it.
I really couldn't tell you. Maybe I wasn't the best person for this interview.
I do not know why it's called the Chili Bowl. That's be a good thing to find out, I guess.
Ask the only question that matters. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the Chili Bowl?
That was always my family's claim to fame, if you will. You know, the Chili Bowl. Hey, that was my grandpa. You know, he was the Chili Bowl. We're in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma at my grandfather's house, Bob Berryhill, the original Chili Bowl. Granddaddy.
Yes.
What do you think about this weekend for me? Do you think it's going to go well?
It can be great, or it can be another damn. I think with the equipment you're in and your seat time there previously, we all know there's a bunch of great drivers. But I think you got as much shot as anybody. I sure do.
Why is this race so important to you?
This race is important to me for obviously more than one reason.
It started, even the name, Chili Bowl. My father bought into a restaurant on 11th Street here in Tulsa, and it was called the Chili Bowl. So Dad's running the restaurant. Yes, they were making chili, he and my mother. And a guy came in and he said, "Are you the owner?" Dad said, "Yes." He said, "I have a company, I make a lot of chili, and I know I can save you money." And Dad said, "I know who you are. Your name is Carcamus. You're from Bristow, Oklahoma, and you must own that company called Famous Chili." The guy said, "Yes." He said, "You know, you do so well." Now, this was back during the war, all right? "You do so well, I bet you can get all those little 1-pound metal pans, trays that you want." The guy said, "Well, of course, I just call ABC in Chicago." Dad said, "Thank you. I'm gonna be your competitor in 2 weeks." He'd go back there and make up about 20, now these are 1-pound trays, little metal pans. They do about 20 pounds at a time, put it in the refrigerator overnight, come back the next morning before I open the restaurant, wrap them in cellophane, whatever, put them in a trunk of a 47 Dodge and go around town trying to sell it before it melted. That's my father. Now, damn it, that's amazing, all right? He went from that, still had the restaurant, and he had to go all over. I think he made his first sale to a grocery store I'm talking about, was in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Then he built a small production facility other than the restaurant. He did brick chili, tortillas, tamales, stuff like that, and started having salespeople in refrigerated trucks to drive around. I've known Emmett and Lanny, for a long time. Everybody knows Emmett Hahn, and he's done a lot of great things, great racetrack out there. My two sons, I've always loved dirt track racing. NASCAR, yeah, but I love dirt track. And they started running mini sprints out at Emmett's track in Sapulpa Creek County.
When you first heard that they were thinking of having this race in the Expo Center, what was your first thought? Like, wait, what?
Oh, you're right. And I'm glad you brought that up because I was going, huh? No, what? You know, that's where they had the boat show. Now, that building was erected for the oil exposition, because Tulsa was the oil capital of the world. And I remember going to it with my parents, you know, and it was just unbelievable, the size of this building out there. I do remember I was at the fairgrounds at Expo, and Emmett and Lanny both were there, getting it all kind of put together, what they're going to do. And one of them mentioned, you know, heck, we need a sponsorship. And I said, well, I'll be the sponsor. They said, okay. And that's how it started. I mean, very low key.
You know, the partnership between Lanny Edwards, Emmett Hahn, and then my grandfather, Bob Berryhill, as far as I'm aware, they needed a sponsor for the event, and his company was right there at the forefront of it to offer the sponsorship and essentially made the event happen. He won't tell you that probably, but I'm sure that it really took his help and support to, you know, make the event become what it is today.
So we should get a start this time by 40 laps of green flag racing here at Tulsa, and the green flag flies.
That was a big gut check on those two guys to say, hey, let's put a dirt track in here and make it like they did. And there weren't that many cars in the beginning.
When they first started, they only had a good handful of cars, and now there's 350 cars, and the best of the best drivers, and NASCAR guys, and IndyCar guys, and you know, everyone in motorsports. It's the boiling pot of motorsports.
The facility is the same as it is today, but we didn't have the car counts. And I had one of our employees, salesman, into racing, midgets and all like that. Well, in all the cars, we were down in the infield, and he would make a pot of chili using our product. And of course, it's, you know, winter time, but yeah, you're in the building, but it's in the infield. That's where all the cars were. And hell, they could come get the chili and crackers and Cokes and stuff like that. And it kind of grew from that.
Play it again, Sam. Sammy Swindell.
But what I'm so proud of both families, they've kept the name Chili Bowl for this event. And who would have thought it's turned into one of the biggest events, racing-wise, in the world. Okay, we've talked about the history of the Chili Bowl as far as the product and the race. We really had tremendous growth with our product through Sonic drive-ins. They're headquartered in Oklahoma City, and I was able to obtain that account. And as Sonics grew, we grew right along with them. It's a very good product as a bowl product or as a topping over a chili dog or coney. But we've got some here for you guys to give it a try. Got a little cheese on top.
You know, that's how I like it.
Absolutely. So have a seat, give it a try, and it'll make you go faster.
There we go.
Okay. All right. Get that bowl of chili away from her. She'll be in it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
She'll be eating the chili.
Yeah. She would, she would.
All right, so this chili right here, I've had it before, and I got to tell you, it's really good. I like my chili all different ways.
Okay.
You know, how do you prefer your chili?
Straight, and as you said earlier, you called it noodles. I said in Oklahoma we call it spaghetti. But with spaghetti, you know, cheese, so forth. When you have a good product, and yes, I'm bragging on the product, it doesn't matter how you have it. It's going to be the same good consistency day in and day out. So any way you want it.
I was telling Matt earlier how you used to make special blends for us when I was a kid growing up, and we'd come over and you'd cook us chili, and one time you cooked us a batch, I'm pretty sure you put a Hershey chocolate bar in it.
I did.
And it was one of my favorites.
I know it.
Had a little sweet tooth, a little kick to
I
the end of
remember-
it. But
I
it was still
remember that.
spicy, but it had a good little sweetness to it. Yeah.
I never could make a deal with Hershey to give them to me free, so we couldn't put that in the finished product.
Jacqueline, you're like a family member now here. right? You know,
I guess
what
so.
have you learned? What have you learned about this whole family tradition with the chili, and it's definitely special.
Well, my family has been coming to Chili Bowl for a long time.
Yeah.
So when I first met Tanner and he told me how he was involved and his family's involved in the inception of the name of the event, I was like, I think I found my soulmate just right off of that. But it comes back to a family right here in Oklahoma at the kitchen table that started a company that led to one of the biggest racing events that is ever to be known.
Well put. Well put.
What is this, by the way? I'm dying to know about this.
This is
picture.
how all of this started in the racing with my family. This is my brother. His name was Matt Berryhill. And it's a beautiful car back in its day. Scary, they didn't run roll cages or roll bars hardly at all. My brother was pretty dadgum good dirt tracker. And of course he was my older brother and I idolized him and followed him through his career. So that is what started my interest in open wheel, sprint cars, midgets, etc.
Which essentially started my racing career too, because he raced, his brother raced, my uncle raced, my dad raced.
So you're third generation.
I'm third generation.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've been involved in it for a long time. And fortunately, you know, the company name stuck out there at the fairgrounds in the expo building. And again, who would have thought? But I have to bring that because it started right there with my brother. And the amount of superstars that we have come in here every year, my God, it's amazing.
This is Uncle Matt, number 17.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was number 17.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
That's
why
right.
he was number
Yep.
17?
Yep.
And then if anyone knows me, I've always been 17. So that's pretty neat that, you know, all the way from
That
my
was
great
the
uncle
reason.
Matt. And what year was this, do you think?
God, I don't know, but he couldn't have been over 20. There's not even a roll bar in that car.
Yeah,
That you don't know if you're going to get out of the thing alive or not when they throw the green, you know?
be brave to drive that.
Telling you. Or stupid.
Where do you think? The chili's your legacy that everybody says, but you're also connected to the event. Your family's connected to the event because Tanner's racing in it. Like,
Right,
So that
exactly.
just does that make it double special?
It does? Of course it does, yes. And to watch him progress like he has, yeah, makes it very special.
How's it feel for you carrying on that legacy?
You know, I'm really proud of, you
A
know.
little bit of pressure.
A little bit of pressure. Obviously, everyone knows this because of his involvement in it. I'd love it. And my uncle did a great job in the Chili Bowl too. I believe he made several A-main feature starts.
He damn sure did. And let me, talking about my other son, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had 3 laps to go. Aaron was running third. Tony Stewart was right behind him. And they hooked bumpers, Tony's front bumper to Aaron's rear bumper, and couldn't shake loose. And that would have been that was going to be a great run. Yeah, but he's run out there. Aaron has run there a number of times and had, you know, really good runs.
Yeah.
But that was one that stands out because that was the A feature and 3 laps left, and it didn't happen.
Ah,
But that's the Chili Bowl.
that's racing. So with Aaron having success there, you having success, obviously, with the naming and all that, yeah, the weight's on my shoulders now. So to carry on our last
You're
name,
right.
you know, it's so tough now, 350 cars.
I
and
know it.
Goodness,
I know it.
You know, it's really tough. I've had some good runs, not being necessarily a dirt guy growing up. You know, I raced pavement all my childhood and then started racing the micro that, you know, we did together. And I was 15 before I did that, so I'd already been racing pavement for 5 years. So I had to learn a new skill, and then I've kind of honed in on that craft a little bit. We did some sprint car racing and stuff a few years ago. And then the midgets almost every year for Chili Bowl, because like I can't not come and run the Chili Bowl with our family ties and all that. No matter how much experience I had, I would just pop in and come race and do the best I could. So the last few years I've gotten substantially better than I was when I started.
Much.
So,
And it is harder when you're not doing it on a regular, weekly, consistent basis, you know?
yeah.
You run your power eyes and you do well, but then you got all the time off. And these guys have been racing. So, but that's what makes it good, is to watch people like you, up and comers, and you're getting better every year, and your time's coming.
Hey, if I could just win one Chili Bowl, I'd be thrilled to death.
Well,
right?
I think everyone, we all would.
A prelim win, right? That'd be huge.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
It's so tough, and anyone will tell you that. You know, there's so many good drivers that come here and they don't run well, you know, and they're excellent drivers, and it's just really tough event. To be able to put your name, even as a starter of the A main on Saturday in this generation, this decade of Chili Bowl racing, is a huge accomplishment. This is my 10th, so this is my decade of trying. This is really my third, I would consider, of like being a dirt racer now. I'm getting better every year. I'm just, you know, trying to get that couple extra spots in the qualifier to block me in higher to the feature and go from there. It's just, you know, it's a matter of inches at this place. Once you do it once, you have so much respect for everyone who's really good at it. You know, it really gives a sense of credibility as driving ability, because it's so raw. You know, the event, there's no shortcuts. You can't buy your way to the front. You actually have to have, you know, real talent when it comes to dirt track racing. Obviously, the family connection means a ton. To represent our name as a competitor rather than just a sponsor, it's a big deal. And my uncle did a great job with that too. He ran really well at the Chili Bowl.
I'm honored beyond words, and I'm so pleased that Emmett and Lanny kept it as Chili Bowl. You know, look at the sponsorship that's pouring in now, you know, but they've kept the name Chili Bowl. So yes, I mean, I'm honored for that, and that's a legacy.
When it comes to the legacy of Chili Bowl, you know, I'm proud of it more than anything. Proud of what my family's done, proud of, you know, helping this event get started and to grow to what it is.
For them to keep the name, and I was no longer the main sponsor and all like that, I'm indebted to them. It just still makes my heart feel good, you know, turn on, it's the Chili Bowl Midget Nationals.